Indiana Dunes was established in 1966, and we're known for our diversity. We stretch from here in Gary all the way to Michigan City, about 23 miles, and in that compass we have lots of plants and animals, lots of different habitats, and we have scientists that come from around the world to study the diversity that we have here in the park. We sit on the southern shores of Lake Michigan, and so we get the flora and the fauna from the north, south, east, and west converging right here. And for hundreds, even thousands of years, we've had this diversity. The Native Americans, they lived here, the Potawatomi, Miamis, and others lived in this area and took advantage of that diversity so they could have their life here. And even today, like I said before, we have scientists that come from around the world and students that come and do studies about the biological diversity. We have tall dunes and swales, and down in the bottom of the swales we have wildflowers, we have wetlands. So in that ecosystem itself, there's lots of diversity. We've got beaver population here, we've got deer, coyotes, and other animals as well. If you're coming out as a family, what makes this area unique and just kind of outstanding is the fact that, you know, while you're staying here in a day or 2-day time period, you can kind of go to different ecosystems. You can be here in Miller Woods, like I said, which is a very unique oak savanna ecosystem, where you're going to see different flora and fauna. And then you can go into eastern deciduous forest, where it's going to be more enclosed and you're going to see a totally different habitat. And then we have prairie. And then of course what most people think about when they think about Indiana Dunes is the beach. So we get, out of the 2 million or so visitors that we get a year, most of them, they go to the beach and that's all they see, which is a very unique ecosystem in itself, but we have so much more. We've got trails that go along the Little Calumet River. We've got trails that, like I said, go through the prairie, so lots of different ecosystems that you can think of. We even have a bog. We have Pinhook Bog and Coles Bog, which actually is a fin. And so in those ecosystems, you can actually see insect-eating plants, which is very unique for Northwest Indiana. Who would have thought you'd see insect-eating plants like pitcher plants and sundews in Northwest Indiana? One of the real special things here in the park that we've noticed is throughout the years, as we've restored this area and as things have gotten better here in Northwest Indiana, bald eagles are starting to make a comeback. And so every year we see more and more bald eagles flying through the area, and some are actually nesting here in the Gary area. So that's really neat when you see, you know, a majestic bird like a bald eagle flying overhead when you're hiking the dunes or in Miller Woods here. Geographically, this area was formed about 14 or 15,000 years ago during what we call the Wisconsin Glacial era. And that's basically when we right now would be sitting underneath a glacier that's about a mile high and about 3 states wide. And when that receded over time, over thousands of years, once that receded, the Great Lakes were formed. And those deposits, those glacial tills and glacial deposits is what created the ecosystems and the structures that we have here today. So another thing that makes Indiana Dunes National Park so special for individuals and groups and families is the fact that we're a year-round destination. So you come here in the summertime, like I said, most of our visitation is in the summertime. So you've got the beaches, you've got the trails. In the spring, you've got the wildflowers and the birding. In fact, birders from all over the world come here actually to do birding. As you move into the fall colors here, they almost rival the East Coast. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite times of year because as you're driving through the dunes and through the park itself, you see all these beautiful colors, fall colors that you see here. And then in the wintertime, recreational opportunities abound as well because we have great cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, and people just like to get out and see the different tracks in the snow and get to see the park at a different time of season.